For more on this, I'm joined by France 24's expert on jihadi movements, Wassim Nasser. Wassim, good to see you. Now, it seems we're at a turning point in Raqqa. What's the situation right now?
Actually, we have very contradictory information regarding what just was said. Some sources are saying that a deal was cut regarding Syrian jihadis and their families, and other sources are saying a deal was cut for everybody, including foreign jihadis. But up to this point, we should know that journalists are forbidden to go into the city. They are blocked at Ain Isa in the north of Raqqa. We don't have images yet of what is said, that Syrian jihadis are being escorted out of the town. I had the number of 275 jihadis yesterday, which is not confirmed. We should insist on this. But we know that in the last 48 hours, many jihadis surrendered. But surrendered doesn't mean they are going to be exfiltrated outside of the city. And this is how one of the neighborhoods, Al-Nahda, was taken by the Syrian Democratic Forces without a fight, like 24 hours ago. So the situation is very confused regarding who's getting out and what was the deal that was cut.
Okay, well, let's go back to this deal that you speak about, brokered by local tribal leaders. What other details do we know?
Actually, local tribesmen, Sunni tribesmen, entered the negotiations. They are being the middleman between the Islamic State leaders and the Americans. So many letters were exchanged, and many meetings were made. And the deal is that they should try to help as much as civilians as they can. And if you ask me why now, because the town is almost lost for the jihadis. So why the jihadis would accept to negotiate? We should know that they already accepted to negotiate in other moments. For example, in Fallujah, they accepted to negotiate by the end of the battle. And despite the negotiation, the convoy was bombed, and it was the last negotiation. And we know what happened in Mosul later. They already accepted to negotiate in Qalamun, for example, in Lebanon, to be exfiltrated to Deir ez-Zor. They also accepted to negotiate in Al-Bab and in Manbij because the military prerogative at the time were more important south of those two towns. So it's not just unimaginable for them to negotiate. That's on one hand. On the other hand, why would the Americans accept to negotiate? For two main reasons. Because by accepting the mediation of the local tribesmen, they will gain the local population. Because they are seeing that the Sunni local population, for example, in Deir ez-Zor, is going back towards Damascus and making alliances with Damascus brokered by the Russians. So they are trying to be one step beyond and try to gain this population by saying, look, we saved many civilians. And on the other hand, if the game good cop, bad cop, saying all jihadis are going to go out or just Syrian jihadis are going to go out works, and if they create a real friction and split between local jihadis and foreign jihadis, it will be very damaging for the narrative of the Islamic State on the long term.
Okay, Wassim, thank you so much for that detailed analysis. Wassim Nasser, France 24's expert on jihadi movements there.